I was born into this world via C-section, and from that day forward, I ceased to be the filling in the ravioli that was my mother. So with that topic in mind, let's talk about ravioli. Now I want to start by explaining what a ravioli is before I start going down the list and enlightening you. The definition that I'm operating under is that a ravioli both has a distinct outer layer that is both sealed and different than what's on the inside of the ravioli, which is going to be a softer thing. Now, the filling does not have to be one thing. It can be multiple things. It can be like meat and like some kind of sauce or something. That's two different things, and that still counts as a ravioli. The two most important things are that the inside is softer than the outside, and that it is a distinct line of difference. The categories that we're going to be touching today are breakfast, lunch/dinner, dessert, snacks, and miscellaneous items. So let's hop right into it, starting with breakfast. Breakfast is the start of your day, and it sets you up to succeed in your endeavors afterwards. So as a person who is trying to live his life only eating raviolis, let's look at our options. I hope you like sweet things for breakfast because there's not as many savory options in the beginning. But we're gonna start off with a toaster strudel. As you can see, it has a flaky, solid exterior with a softer flavored inside, making it fall right into our definition of a ravioli. In a similar vein to that, we have two more things, which are Uncrustables and filled donuts. They're all the same concept in different executions. Now, we do have a situational one that is cereal. Recently, there have been an influx of cereals that are filled. So let's take a look at that. If we take one of these and break that bad boy open, you can see it does have a solid exterior and a softer inside, making this type of cereal a ravioli. Now it's time to talk about the only savory ravioli that I have listed, which is an egg. Now, the problem with an egg is that its viability as a ravioli is completely dependent on how you cook it. Because if you were to just scramble it, then it's no longer a ravioli. If you were to fry it, you could semi-argue that maybe it's a ravioli, but my problem is that goes against my original definition, which is because even though it would be a sealed outside, it's still made of egg on the outside. And in the same type of egg yolk. The actual uncooked egg would be a ravioli because it has eggshell on the outside. So it really only leaves you with two ways of consuming it. Either boiling it, because that would be two different kinds of yolk, which I'm still kind of iffy on that one because it's not softer on the inside than it is on the outside. But, you know, you could always just throw the whole egg in your mouth, uncooked like a true gamer, and eat that instead. Because if it goes into your mouth, the ravioli, anything that happens after that is none of my business. Now let's get into our lunch/dinner. So you've survived your breakfast of uncooked eggs and gooey cereal. Now it's time to get some real food in your day. So let's look at the menu for your next two meals. Just to knock it out of the way, raviolis are in fact raviolis, so that's an option. Let's just get that out of the way. But let's talk about other foods. You have the distant cousin of the ravioli, which is the dumpling. It has all the characteristics of a ravioli, but with just a lot less spaghetti. We also have two meals here that are very similar. So I'll put them here together with Hot Pockets and calzones, both being meat, cheese, and sauce sealed inside of dough, which is something that I also aspired to be one day.
Onto the plate you go, my pretty morsel.
And, if you're feeling thankful, we have a Thanksgiving special with stuffed turkey for all you pilgrims out there. It's time to reward you for taking on your long, hard day of eating ravioli. So let's get you some dessert. Now, there isn't as much here, and I'm going to slightly go back on my definition of a ravioli for the last one, but we'll get there when we get there. Let's start with lava cake. Now, that is a ravioli. I mean, look at that solid exterior and gooey inside. You just can't beat that. We will follow that one closely behind with pies, specifically the ones that people who are actually good at cooking make, because otherwise they turn out like this. And we will end on the kind of contentious one, which is creme brulee. It does in fact have a solid exterior and a solid top, but it's kind of in a bowl, and so you could eat the bowl, you could, I'm not gonna stop you, but I hesitate to say it's a pure ravioli, but I'll let it slide. Now let's say you finish your breakfast, your lunch, dinner, and your dessert, but you just can't have enough of that crunchy, gooey feeling of ravioli in your mouth. Well, have I got good news for you. Snacks. Now let's start this charcuterie board of excitement off with a classic, known as pizza rolls. Pizza rolls are the ravioli staple of college kids everywhere. Everybody remembers these things growing up. I mean, they have the taste of pizza, but the portability of pocket change. I mention that because I saw way too many people in high school with pizza rolls in their pockets. Now we have the best prank to pull on someone with a peanut allergy with peanut butter filled pretzels. Just steal their EpiPen, slide them a few of these, it'll be funny. They'll get a good kick out of it. One of my favorite pastimes as a kid was going outside, finding a very juicy tick, popping that bad boy in my mouth, and just going to town. Now sadly, that is looked down upon, but I have a replacement that is almost as good. That replacement is called Gushers. These bad boys really take the tick-eating edge off with their gummy exterior and their gooey inside. And you've got to appreciate that explosion of flavor when you bite down. Now, I know I'm about to be trampling on hallowed ground since we almost lost these bad boys back in 2012, but I had to include Twinkies. And to think, there's another timeline where we fully lost access to these things. I wonder how that played out. Anyway, we're gonna end our food on Reese's Cups. I mean, there's not much to say here. It's peanut butter and chocolate, which are great when separate, but when they combine, it's pretty epic. We've spent plenty of time talking about food-related raviolis. But what about a more abstract look at the concept? Let's talk about the miscellaneous raviolis. We are gonna start out super large with Earth. Let's crack this bad boy open. Yep. That's a gooey inside. Sounds like a ravioli to me. Possibly a moldy one, but a ravioli regardless. Now let's talk about the ravioli that wander the big ravioli, which are humans. That's right, you too are a ravioli. You have your solid exterior and skin and all your gooey insides, making you a perfect example of a ravioli. So when you eat a ravioli, you are a ravioli with a ravioli in you on a ravioli. We also have a ravioli that contains things that go on other foods called condiment packets. Some people keep their pets in raviolis, namely a fish tank. It's a bit more moist in there, but I mean, look at it. That's a ravioli. And finally, to loop back to the snack section, I'm putting insects in here with their exoskeletons on the outside and their gooey insides. So, I can officially go back to eating ticks as they are now considered ravioli.